2002 was the year opposition leader Mwai Kibaki was elected Kenya's third president, thereby ending nearly 40 years of rule by the Kenya African National Union (KANU). The year started with mainstream opposition parties including Kibaki's Democratic Party, Kijana wa Malwa's Ford Kenya, and Charity Ngilu's Social Democratic Party agreeing to field one candidate for the presidential election due in December. They would later formalize their agreement by setting up a new party, the National Alliance for Change. It was President Daniel Arap Moi's last term in office, and he was determined to choose the candidate who would represent KANU in the presidential race. He convinced Raila Odinga to merge his NDP with KANU, and he now set in motion a process that would ensure that the KANU presidential candidate would come from among the young politicians whom he had brought into his government the previous year. They included Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, Musalia Mudavadi, and Kalonzo Musyoka. During KANU elections held on March 17th, these young Turks took over the ruling party. Uhuru Kenyatta replaced Vice President George Saitoti as Vice President of the party. Raila Odinga took over from Party Secretary General Joseph Kamotho. But then in April, Moi decided and let it be known that Uhuru Kenyatta would be KANU's presidential flag bearer at the next general election. That upset many of the party's new leaders who felt cheated out of a chance to vie for the top job in open competition. Raila Odinga later teamed up with some of the disgruntled KANU leaders, among them Saitoti and Kamotho, and set up what they called the KANU Rainbow Alliance. On August 14th, in an effort to stem the tide of internal KANU criticism against his choice of Uhuru Kenyatta as his successor, Moi sacked Kamotho from the cabinet. On August 30th, he sacked Saitoti as vice president, replacing him with Musalia Mudavadi. On October 13th, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and William Ntimama quit Moi's government. A few days later, the KANU Rainbow Alliance merged with the National Alliance Party of Kenya to form a new party, the National Rainbow Coalition (NARC), which settled on one presidential candidate, Mwai Kibaki, to take on Uhuru Kenyatta, whom KANU finally nominated to run for president. Then, on December 3rd, Mwai Kibaki was involved in a road accident and had to be immediately flown out to Britain for treatment. He would not come back to the country until a few days before the general election, and even then, he would be in no state to participate in any rigorous campaigning, leaving most of the campaign to be conducted on his behalf by other NARC leaders. When the results were all in, Kibaki had garnered 3.6 million votes, double the 30% of the total vote in the presidential race that Uhuru Kenyatta managed to get. Nyachai got less than 350,000 votes. In the parliamentary elections, KANU ended up with only 64 MPs in a parliament of 220 members. Most KANU candidates outside Uhuru Kenyatta's Kiambu district and Moi's Kalenjin areas of the Rift Valley lost to NARC candidates. They included outgoing Vice President Mudavadi in Western Province's Sabatia constituency. On December 30th, Kibaki was sworn in at Uhuru Park, Nairobi. In sports, 2002 was the year Kenyans won both Boston marathons, Rogers Rop in the men's race and Margaret Okayo in the women's, and Joyce Chepchumba won the New York Women's Marathon. At that year's Commonwealth Games held in Manchester, England, Wilberforce Talel won the men's 10,000 meters, Stephen Cherono the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase, and Selina Koskei the women's 10,000 meters race. It was also the year Colin McRae partnered with Nicky Grist won the Safari Rally. 2002 was the year Kenyans said farewell to lawyer Oki Mbaka, who had been Yashpal Guy's deputy in the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission.